So my brother and I did a Propex heater install on my Colorado Teardrops Basedrop camper, and I wanted to do a little walkthrough on how we installed it and just where exactly in the camper everything sits for those people who also have this type of teardrop. Okay, so the Propex heater itself, here's kind of a zoomed out shot of the back of the galley. Sits down here on the bottom shelf in between my water tank and the Goal Zero power station. I have the 1400, I believe. In order to make room for that, I kind of had to position it perpendicular with the galley shelf. So anyway, the Propex heater sits there. It is basically, I would say, I don't know the exact measurement on it. It's a little more than a foot long, a little more than 4 inches tall maybe, by about 6 inches deep. Decided to run a gas line from it so that I could close the back galley door. And so the gas line basically runs down through the floor of the galley underneath, and I'll show you that in just a second. The hot air comes out here and goes up. I also bought the stealth kit, the silencer stealth kit for the Propex heater. So this is like a carpety material rather than just a cardboard. And that goes up in underneath the galley shelf there. And then I'll show you on the inside of the camper where that sits. This is just a cold air intake, which we covered with a little mesh, just a bug net to kind of prevent anything from going in there. It's not going to be a very good shot, but you can kind of see underneath here. And there are two of them, but here are the holes we cut for the exhaust and the intake, which are on the bottom, and I will show those as well. And here's the other one. That's the cold air intake there on the left. That's the exhaust there. I'm going to focus on the right. And so then it basically just has power cords that come out of the back of it as well. The power cords they go back through there, back behind the side there, and up out through. So the 12 volt wiring comes up here, plugs in there to the 12 volt outlet for its power supply. Then we had to run the wiring kit into the inside for the thermostat, and so I'll take you in the camper for that. Bed's not made, but so up under there is a thermostat, and I will turn everything on here in a moment. Down under there is there's where the hot air comes in. There's the cold air return over there in the corner. So just to look at it from the top of the camper here, blankets out of the way. Have to install that smoke detector still, but you have the cold air over there, the hot air comes out there, and there's the digital thermostat up here. So momentarily I will get the whole thing going. Just here's where the gas obviously connects to the propane here. Note that it's a 2-stage propane regulator. That's what's recommended for these. So you need the 2-stage. That, and I'll show you underneath now. So that's basically where all that connects. There's again the hot air goes up through there. There's the cold air return behind the water tank there. And so just to look underneath, here's kind of a wide shot. Over here is where the gas connects to the copper tubing we used and ran down through the floor. This is the cold air intake, and this also has like a little muffler on the end of it there with the silencing kit. And then this one is the exhaust where all the fumes and things go out, which is tucked up underneath. It also came, I'm switching sides here, it came with a little muffler, which is right there with the silencer kit, and then basically just have it ran out through the edge. And you should also note that you are supposed to run the exhaust all the way out through the edge of the camper there so that the exhaust fumes don't congregate underneath the camper and go back up into the intake, which is over there. So just a quick run through again. Gas line comes down through the bottom of the galley floor there, the copper tubing, runs over to there where it connects to the 2-stage propane regulator hose and goes up to the gas tank outside so that I can shut the galley door up there and close it all. This is the cold air intake with a little muffler on it to silence things. The exhaust running out of the floor there up into a muffler up there to further silence it, and then running out the side of the camper for exhaust right there. So that's how that all works. Again, the power source is just up there, 12-volt power, and that's pretty much everything. So I'll turn it on here and just get it going. Make sure it has power, the red light there, turn on the propane, make sure everything's tight, and go inside. Turn on the thermostat with that little flame button. Hold on just a second. So that turns it on. It says 74. My little other thermostat says indoors is 76. But anyway, if I want it to be warmer than 74, I turn up the temperature on the thermostat and wait until it kicks on. So it's probably difficult to hear, but the green light's on and that red light will kick on once the propane ignites. You can kind of hear, maybe you can or maybe you can't, but air coming out of this little vent here, and then that one's simply just a cold air return that goes back out to the galley. So now that the red light has kicked on, that means that the propane is actually burning. I can feel some warm air coming from out from under there, and it's on. So it should go up to, I think I set it for 76. Yeah, it should go up to 76 in here, and then it will simply shut off when it gets up to that. Right now it says it's at 74. So just kind of a wide shot here, but there's the thermostat. It's my little television setup. There's the underneath shot of the cold air on the left, and the hot air vent right there in the center. Definitely feel warm air coming out of there now. This door is wide open though, so it probably won't heat up anytime soon. But I'll take you around and let you listen to the sound of it while it's on. It's not extremely loud at all. Now granted, I do have the silencing stealth kit on this, but very, very quiet. When you're inside, you can't hear it at all back here. You can hear a little bit of air coming out of the heat vent there, but really that's it. You can see that it only uses 29 watts while it's actually powered on, which is really good. And with the 1400, this can last for a very long time. It says 52.2 hours until empty. So by tomorrow, hopefully my solar panel will charge that all the way back up if it were running all night, but uses very little electrical output. It says it uses 1 pound every 3 hours of propane. So very economical, and with an 11-pound propane tank, that's 33 hours of runtime, and that's constant runtime. So obviously once it heats up, it's gonna shut off and it won't be running for that whole time. But that's basically the Propex heater in a nutshell. Works very, very well. It's a little pricey, that's kind of the only drawback, but otherwise it's the best heating solution I've found after a little bit of research. So there's that, and I hope this helps for some people who are thinking about installing one in their Colorado Teardrop.